My brother, Sam Skillington, I think you guys know him well. My mother used to run a shop, like a convenience store. You guys know this, I'm sure. But the listeners
Handsworth Convenience Store.
Handsworth Convenience Store, as well as Burr's Beers in Darnell. And he got so fed up about people coming in and talking about the weather, because obviously the clientele were very much of an age that would come in and like to talk about the weather. And it just pissed him off so much that he eventually made a sign that said, "No talking about the weather." Or I think it was, "If you talk about the weather, I may ask you to leave." And put it up next to the till, and then people would come in and be like, "Bleeding hell, it's pissing it down out there, isn't it?" And then he would just point to the sign to say, "No talking about the weather." And I understand his point, but I've got to say, I think we're just coming out of a heat wave right now.
That's true.
But it's very hard not to talk about the weather when you're sat sweating. And the reason I bring this up, lads, is because we are all now topless doing this podcast, and it feels like we're almost doing like a Terrible Features special set in Mallorca or something.
I think it's a topless special, isn't it? It's the Terrible Features. Terrible Features go topless. Terrible Features topless special, something like that.
I'd be worried that I'd feel weird not telling our terrible fans.
I know, yeah. We're not bottomless, that's important to say, as far as I know.
Oh, you're not?
Maybe you two are, I'm not. Yeah, maybe John is.
No, I wouldn't want to get one of me nuts trapped under the chair leg.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to you, Ryan. I'd tell you if I was.
So, hello, you terrible fans. And it's true. I mean, we could be lying to you. We could be pretending that we're all topless. But I don't think there's much in that.
No, I mean, we could be wearing jumpers or sweaters, as they're called in America, woolly hats with a bobble on top, and maybe like skiing goggles and claiming to be topless. But why would we do that? That's what you've got to ask yourselves. Why would we do that?
Ryan could be dressed as an elf.
That's right.
And John could have his Mr. Blobby costume on, his Mr. Blobby suit, and we could be telling you that we're topless. Yeah. Now, that would be silly, wouldn't it? Because
that would be madness.
If John was in a full-on Mr. Blobby costume, you'd have to talk about that, wouldn't you? I'll tell you what will be strange is if we do listen to this particular episode back in the winter, it's going to feel mad, isn't it? When we're all freezing.
Oh, mate.
And we'll go, do you remember that when we're all topless doing the podcast because we were so hot?
That will be fun.
I'm very much looking forward to the Christmas period. I'm looking forward to what Terrible Features is going to be up to at Christmas. And I have a sneaky suspicion that there might be a bit of a Christmas special. What do you think?
Oh, there's got to be. I think it might be a double episode. I mean, it's a long way off to be talking about now in the height of the summer heat wave. but I would say you're absolutely bang on. There should be a Christmas special. I'll tell you what, I don't think there's enough of these days, and maybe it's something we should do next week or maybe the week after. I don't know. A summer special. No one does summer specials anymore.
It's true.
Never have.
It's true.
Yeah, for me, a T4 was a big summer special. Do you remember the Channel 4 program T4 that was on in the 6 week holidays?
I suppose they'd go to the seaside and put a festival type thing on, wouldn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they'd present from the beach, have an ice cream and
T4
stuff.
on the beach, I suppose they'd call it, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
so maybe
nice.
we do Terrible Features on the beach.
That'd be great.
I'll tell you what, lads, why don't we have this as our summer special? Because we're all topless.
That's a nice idea, isn't it? So we'll call this the summer special, the topless special. Yeah.
Topless summer special.
Let's not forget the other holidays for our American fans, or, what would the English people call it? We've got Halloween coming up.
Oh.
Bonfire night.
I was saying just now, wasn't I, that before we started recording, we haven't done a special in a while. We did the Paddy's Day special, and I was thinking when we did that, we're going to be doing specials galore. Every sort of occasion that occurs this year, we'll do a special for it.
Yeah.
Now, is it just that there hasn't been an occasion since St. Patrick's Day, or is it just that we've forgotten to do it? We missed an Easter special, in fairness, didn't we? We could have done that.
I was going to say Easter was probably...
But the next big one is probably, like you say, it's probably going to be Halloween, which is going to be a bloody good one.
A bloody good one. Very good, Ryan.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes, the terrifying features.
But this is all in the future, isn't it? I did want to say something about the whole sign that your brother made about don't talk about the weather. just because it's on my mind. I know we've moved on now a bit, but just feel a little bit mean-spirited, doesn't it? It feels a bit like these people who come in and want to talk about the weather, they just want to chat, don't they? They just...
But you have met Sam, haven't you?
Yeah.
I was going to say, he was a pretty mean-spirited guy, especially when he was cooped up in a shop for
I suppose
6 months.
so. I just don't want it to come across to the listener like me, Ryan House, Mr. Non-Mean-Spirited, if you could call me anything. Call me that. I don't want people to think that I'm going, oh yeah, that was a great thing that Sam did there with that sign. I think that's absolutely spot on.
Oh no. I mean, I'm not
because I don't really condone it. I think it's quite rude to the customers.
Condoning it is the right word, but if Jack D was to say it on stage, he'd get a bloody round of applause.
Well, I know, yeah,
true.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. I think I was a little bit like this when you were saying it. yeah.
Oh,
and I
so
didn't want the listener thinking, God, Ryan thinks this is okay behaviour, because I absolutely do not.
Front page of The Guardian.
Yeah, exactly.
Middling comedian.
Ryan doesn't want to talk about the weather.
Well, okay, to counteract Sam's story there, Joe, my other brother, who I think you know.
Gorgeous guy.
Gorgeous. Fit Joe. Friend of the family. Friend of the show, Libby Burt Wild, definitely the one that got away for her. But when he worked in the shop briefly, he had a cup of twigs. He'd gone to the warehouse and they had, I think it was for like, what's it called? Like when what's that whole genre called where you crafts?
Oh yeah.
So it was craft stuff, so you can make stuff out of these little twig things. All pretty much looking the same. And he had them in a cup on the counter and he put magic sticks, 20p. And my mum were like, that's false advertising. I goes, you got old women coming in here buying magic sticks to take home and try and solve all their problems. We're charlatans. We've become charlatans, lads.
But she must have been to a shop that sells healing crystals, though.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's probably bought them.
Yeah.
She's well into her glass angels and.
Well, that's why she knows that the magic sticks aren't legit, because she's been to a shop that sells the legit ones. She's like, I've got a magic stick and that's not one.
No. Are these from that shop in Scarborough? Well, they're not legit then.
We haven't got his license.
But I thought it sounds like a.
I love your mum. She's great.
She is wonderful.
Sounds like something Joe did more for the kids than for
I think so.
Women of an age who've lost their partner or something. Yeah,
you'd think that, but I think it was more out of boredom.
Right. Okay. Just to see if they could sell. Also, I'm not just. I know we should move on really, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. He went to the warehouse and bought some twigs. So, what does that?
Right.
You go to the woods and you pick up some twigs, maybe.
So he would go to the warehouse to pick up fags and booze and peck ham and marrow fat peas and which, I mean, the ham sold big time because obviously Sheffield, big fishing community in it. It made a good ground bit, obviously chopped up,
and it has healing qualities, doesn't it?
In a lot of ways, fishing, very relaxing. And when he was there, they were shifting some of this craft stuff because warehouses. I mean, it's not just fags and booze; it's all kinds of crap. It depends on what you're selling. And he just saw them and was like, "Oh, actually, no, my mum had got them because my mum was making baskets, hampers."
Right.
That was quite good actually. The customers come in for Christmas and stuff. She'd have a basket and you get like a bottle of wine and some groceries and stuff like that. And then it was like polysthened up with a bow on top and stuff. That's where they come from. And Joe had spied them in the back room.
So it's more like a sort of a long sort of rattan style. I don't know, like a sort of. It's just the phrase twigs is what's put me about.
I don't know how else to. Smooth, glossy sticks.
Yeah, okay. I see. Like almost synthetic in a way.
I imagine what you'd do is you'd probably push maybe berries onto there or
okay,
to make it more magic.
I still can't quite imagine it, but what I do like the sound of is this hamper that you're talking about. And I was thinking, you were just talking about Christmas, weren't you? And there's a chance, we don't know yet, but we might, if you're lucky, get some merch out for Christmas.
It's true.
Absolutely.
For the Christmas
all
market.
Goes to plan.
We want to sell some of those stocking fillers, aka land fillers, I call them. Get them bought. Get them.
Ryan.
We
Don't tell
to
them it's
shift
called landfillers.
some crap.
Yeah, we want
don't
to shift some crap. We want to put some crap into the environment. That's the idea.
true.
And we might do this at Christmas. And what might be nice is to get maybe gift one lucky listener a bumper basket with one of each of our bits of
like
merch
a prize
as like a goodie basket, and maybe one of these baskets that your mum can make for us out of these twigs that Joe's selling.
That's a very good point, and we could maybe do a competition closer to the time.
It's a nice idea, isn't it? Anyway, it's food for thought.
That is a nice idea. And if you're a keen Terrible fan, and maybe your partner or friend, they know this, but they don't listen to the show itself. One, why the hell not? But secondly, let them know when we launch the shop, and they can get you some of our crap for Christmas and stuff. It's ideal.
Absolutely.
The voices you can hear today are Sir John Patrick over there.
Hello there.
Hello, John.
Hi. How's it going? You're good?
Yeah, good, mate. And I think I heard the dulcet tones of good old-fashioned Ryan Howes.
You were absolutely right in your assumption. It is me, good old-fashioned Ryan Howes.
And I am, of course, Matt Skillington.
Pleasure.
.co.uk, the brand. And you must be listening to Seldom Differ's Terrible Features, so hello. And thanks for downloading this podcast. I hope you enjoyed last week's podcast. We were a little bit stretched for time, but we didn't want to miss a beat or miss a show, so we put together a wonderful compilation, which I very much enjoyed listening back to, actually, because I've not heard a lot of that for a long time.
Yeah, it was a bit of a
chuckling.
different thing, but hopefully people enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it myself personally. Yeah, it was almost like a radio show, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it was nice.
If anyone's listening and works at the radio, give us a shout, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Ryan, I couldn't sleep last night, and it wasn't just because of the sheer heat.
Honestly, lads, I'm wandering around my house going, these light bulbs are kicking out so much heat. I've absolutely convinced myself. Turn off all the lights. You go up to them and go, they're LEDs. They don't have no heat comes out of these.
Well, it's hot anyway, but this is just adding to the problem.
Yeah, this is added. I would put my hand on the TV. I was like, that TV must be kicking out heat. Get that off. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was the oven that I'd left on and open. I was doing a barbecue the other day, and I can't be bothered. It was just very hot. Not talk about the weather.
Imagine Sam will be switching off, won't he, now, if he's listening?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't listen to this shit. Not my words. No, it wasn't just because of the sheer heat. It was because I thought, Jesus, I've not seen the wheel in so long.
Mate.
The feature wheel. That I didn't know if it had maybe perished in the heat, or if there was any problems. Did you have to store it in ice? I mean, what's it looking like, Ryan? Can you wheel her in?
The wood of the wheel has expanded a little bit in the heat, as you might imagine, and I am worried that might have jammed the mechanism.
Warped.
Did I say warped or did I say expanded? Yeah, but I suppose that's the correct term, isn't it? Warped. The wood might have warped, and it might have jammed the mechanism. I've not tried spinning it since. It's sort of seeping a sort of sap or something from parts of it, which is...
It's probably... I won't worry too much. That might be the leftover glitter glue where you're not...
It could just be the glitter glue,
It's heated to a point and become into a liquid form. Before you show us the wheel, actually, Ryan, I've just been wondering if any of you lads, all two of you, have been watching anything of late.
Do you know what? I've not been watching anything at all, no, because it's been too hot. And like John says, the television's kicking out that extra heat, so I'm keeping it turned off to keep the temperature in the room down. So I've unfortunately not been watching anything. But I did get a letter through my postbox from...
Nice, cool letter.
A nice, ice-cool letter.
Crisp.
A cool,
refreshing
crisp,
letter.
So refreshing to get a letter in this day and age. And it's using no computer or television power, so there's no heat coming from it. It's just cool and crisp. I put it on my forehead to cool down a little bit, and then I read it. And it was from friend of the family, friend of the show, Saul Midgar, which I think I'm now pronouncing correctly because I've said it wrong a few times now. And anyway, in the letter, he said that he'd been watching a show. He said, I watched a quiz show this weekend where celebrity cutlers competed for fun, identifying a selection of tableware captained by milquetoast BBC comedians. So, I got my pen and my pad out and I scrawled back to him my letter, which was, what was that called? And I posted that off with a stamp, and I waited for my reply. And then a few days later, the reply came. I got another letter from Saul. And
ice cold.
It was so cold and fresh to get that letter. And it said, it was called A Question of Spork.
Yes.
So I wrote a letter back to him that said, that does sound good.
Does sound good.
And all that for the price of about £1.98.
It was worth every penny, lads. It really was.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Ryan, because our pal Saul has obviously been busy with his pen and paper, because he's also sent me a letter.
Has he? I thought it was only me he was in favour of.
Cheeky.
He says he's watched. He says he's watched a classic show, which is Michael Foot and Paul Foot bathing in their favourite edible fluids and making a case for which one had made the better choice. And I read it all, obviously, and I went to my secretary and said, "Can you take this down, please?" And I simply said, "What was that called?" Yours faithfully, John Patrick, dictated, not read. And had that sent off. And so then a couple of days later, I received a letter back to me, once again from Saul, and it said, I think it was called One Foot in the Gravy.
Oh, that does sound good. Did you tell him it sounded good, John?
I did actually at that point. It was my secretary's day off, so I took out my quill and ink pot and wrote him a letter myself. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my seal waxes, so I had to put it in an envelope.
I hope Seal, the singer, does his own brand of wax.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what, lads? I cannot believe it must be the weather. It has to be the weather, because I received a letter myself. And once I defrosted it, I read it. And it was from friend of the family, friend of the show, Alex Wilkie. And he wrote to me and he said, "I've been watching something on telly as well, actually." He said, "Oh, me? Little old me? Tiny, microscopic, aged, decrepit me?" I was watching this show set in a bank where some staff members are on their break and they start fighting over the only carbonated beverage that's left in the vending machine. So I got out my crayons and my greaseproof paper, and I wrote back and said, I said, "Oh, what was that called?" And then I went to my wall outside, and over the crayon, I took a little a scribbling of the wall to get the imprint of the wall, which I thought was quite nice, and I did the same with a leaf.
Oh, that's cute.
And then I drew a picture of me and him holding hands in the sunshine.
Aww.
And I sent that off, and a few days later, lo and behold, there was a knock at the door, and I prized the letter from the postman's hand after putting some warm water over it. And I opened the letter, and it said, "Last Tango in Halifax."
That does sound good. Did you tell him?
The wax came out, the wax and the oil paints, and I just replied simply saying, "Well, that does sound good."
It did.
So thank you for the letters. And if you would like to send a letter, then please do. And you can do that online. Well, thank you very much for those letters. And we always genuinely do appreciate it here at the Seldom Differ Studios. Now, I think we've been chatting quite a lot, and we should probably get some terrible features played. What do you think, lads?
I think so, yeah.
Should we spin the wheel and see if it works?
VELCRO or laces.
Oh, Velcro or laces, indeed.
Yes, a feature originally designed by a friend of the family, friend of the show, Caroline
Bowman. That's right.
Yes. And let me say, Ryan, well done on keeping the temperature down on that feature whale because while it sounded chubby, I don't think it expanded too much. All right, well, let's start off by playing the jingle. It explains the whole feature, I think, pretty much.
Velcro is sticky, but laces can tie things. Which one is better, as e.g. a tie-pin? Laces would be best for darning a sock. Velcro could be used to fight off a wasp. When the car breaks, when the bull wakes, when I've got no hat, I asked Matt and Ryan to tell me the answer to which one is best for that.
Love that jingle.
Truly wonderful jingle there. I say it every time, but
Really
I think
is.
it might be my favourite.
Thanks, guys.
It's brilliant.
So, yeah, obviously, this is created by Caroline Bowman, who often writes his little notes to little corrections, doesn't she?
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of
she's
course.
always correcting me.
You don't remember?
I remember that.
Saga, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be asking you to talk on behalf of Velcro and laces. This week, Ryan, you'll be arguing in favour of Velcro. Matt, you'll be arguing in favour of laces.
Okay.
And Matt, you might want to get a pen and paper if you don't have one, because it's your turn to do the brainbuster.
Oh, I forgot about the brainbuster.
Well, I've got one on. I've got an early prototype of a Seldom Differs Terrible Features pad.
So, Matthew, here is your brainbuster. You ready?
Yeah.
Caroline Bowman goes to an after party in a warehouse put on by the Royal Ballet, where she made some daft puppets for this season's run of the Blues Brothers, the ballet. In total, there are 85 people at the party. Caroline realises that some people have been turned into zombies. Some are still living humans. She sees that the ratio of zombies to living humans is 2 to 3. How many zombies are there? Right.
So that's is that two
So
zombies to three humans?
That's right. Has that come through to you?
Yeah.
Right. So
And the idea is now that Matt's obviously going to do this brainbuster so he doesn't have chance to think
exactly.
while I deliver my argument in favour of Velcro, and he's later going to do an argument in favour of laces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are going to be telling me why Velcro would be good when you are being attacked by a wild animal. Go.
Well, of course, Velcro is very good for being attacked by a wild animal. It's got a sharp edge to it, so that can ward off animals. You know, if you keep the male side of the Velcro and surround yourself in it, then obviously there's a risk you're going to stick to the animal. But let's imagine that's not going to happen, and hopefully the animal will come up to you. It'll get close, and it will sort of brush its skin against your skin. But your skin is now made of Velcro, covered in spikes, almost hedgehog-like in a way. And it would work in the same way as a hedgehog would work. Obviously, the hedgehog spikes are used to ward off any kind of attacker, and the male Velcro side that you would have stuck to your body all over would work in a similar way, warding off any evil attackers. I'm not saying, I mean, animals aren't evil
10
necessarily.
seconds.
But 10 seconds.
Yep.
Basically that, just that. Also, you could use it to stick weapons to your hands.
Okay. Very good. Well done. Well done. Okay,
Oh, dear.
Matt, your time is up. Unfortunately, have you got an answer there for me? I have to hurry up.
I got 25 zombies.
Unfortunately, that's not the right answer.
No. But the good news is I completely blacked out.
Good. But you just passed out on the floor.
I literally don't even know what the subject was.
Good. Well, Matt, before we get into that, I'll give you the answer.
Thanks, mate.
I'll wait for the Caroline to be in touch. So what you've got there is you've got 2 to 3, right, of zombies to humans, yeah? So if you take those two numbers, 2 and 3, that's 5, and then divide the total number 85 by 5, right, you will get 17. There were 2 to 3, so if you did 2 times 17, you would get 34, which is the answer. I've not explained that very well.
And then the rest would be humans.
Exactly. So it's basically 2x plus 3x equals 85. 5x equals 85. Divide that by 5. X equals 17. So 2x equals 34. It's basically that for anyone who needed that explanation.
Thank you.
What a boring bed of podcast.
No, there'll be people interested in that, I'm sure.
People interested in going to sleep. Can't we've got insomnia.
Nice little fiery. The sun's hot, and so's the venom in the studio.
Tempers.
Right, John, what have I got to do?
Right, Matt, I need you to tell me why laces would be useful when being attacked by a wild animal. Go.
Well, it's quite simple, really. A lace is a lace is a lace, sure, for shoes. But what I want to say is it's also very similar to garrote wire. It can throttle. And if you're being attacked by an animal, you can get that to the ground. You can get that lace around its neck. Unless it's a pig, as we all know, they're all neck. But you can get in there and you can pull, and you're strangling them. Or if you're being attacked by a wild animal, but you've got a bit of time, you could set up some kind of snare using a shoelace. Now, obviously, it's tricky if it's attacking you out of the blue. You could wrap it around your fist and have a makeshift boxing hand. Or you could ram it down its throat and try and choke it to death.
You've got 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
It's quite simple, really. You could tie your shoes and run.
That's time on that one.
Good.
Wonderful there, Matthew. What I'm going to say
very
is
hot.
that...
Did you get hot doing that, right?
Yeah, I'm hot in general right now. I'm in the studio, which is one of the hottest rooms in the house. I should have probably just done this from my bedroom today, but I'm in here as always, sweating it out.
Well, that's where the wheel is.
It's true. The wheel's in here, so I don't know how that would have worked if I'd been in my bedroom.
Tricky getting up the stairs.
Matt, I'm going to tell you that using laces as laces, again, I think we've had this conversation before. It doesn't really count because also VELCRO is a similar shoe fastening, so doesn't really. Anyway,
True.
On this occasion, I think what we had was, I don't know if you heard, Ryan said that you could cover yourself in the, what did you say? The male side of...
It's like the sharp, the sharp side.
To be quite like a hedgehog and use that as a technique. And he also said that you could use it to...
Wait. and then what?
Well, then he's slight protection.
Jeez. Okay.
But he also said
Anything else?
that you can Velcro weapons to your hands, which doesn't really make sense because you could just hold them, to be honest.
Everybody might fall off in the chaos.
Or you could Velcro a gun into your gripped fist.
However, Matt, you made a good point about garroting animals. So we had garroting there, and we had the only other thing that Ryan really made a point about was somehow Velcroing weapons to you. And your point about creating a snare, it was you are being attacked by a wild animal.
Yeah.
Quite difficult to set up a snare trap while a bear is mauling you to death.
True.
So I suppose creating a Velcro costume is not ideal either in that time.
It's very true. So with that in mind, I'm going to say it's a draw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a draw.
That's very generous, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I just feel like you both were. It was not your best performance, either of you. Blame it on the heat, but
How about me pants down?
Yeah, I've had my pants up, I'd say, because I thought my pants were way down on that one, but they're back up again, halfway up my trousers, around my knees, I suppose.
What an image!
But I feel like I get caught up in Velcro laces in one idea every time. Like, I think sometimes it wasn't so much this time, in fairness, but in general, you're very good at coming up with lots of different things that you could do with the Velcro the laces, and I get just obsessed with an idea of, I'll be like a hedgehog.
A hedgehog. Well, the problem was,
if
Ryan,
you can pull off one good one.
Yeah,
it's
Ryan,
true.
you started trying to describe to me why a hedgehog was good. Like, you wasted a bit of time, like saying because a hedgehog can roll itself into a ball, and
Absolutely, and I'd just be like a hedgehog. That's the point. But I'm not going to argue my case much more because I'm happy with the draw.
Yeah. So both of you get no points.
Brilliant.
Well, that's nice, isn't it? Nice end to the day.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Another terrible feature.
Really was.
I I'm sure we're going to have some letters of complaint there about me being absolutely robbed live on air, had me pants down, showing me up in front of me mates. But we should move on, as we need to get through this show at some point.
We do.
So shall we have another spin of the wheel?
Go for it.
This spin is sponsored by Matt's Crisp Pizza, the crispiest pizza around.
Kirsty's question.
Kirsty's question.
Friend of the family, friend of the show.
Do you remember Kirsty? Was she your cousin, is it, Matt? Is that right?
It's my cousin, yeah. Yeah.
And she's obviously a friend of the family, friend of the show, terrible fan. And she sort of now has her own bit on the show every now and again.
Yeah, I mean, we don't talk very much, but I see her. She's quite prolific on Facebook.
Yeah.
So occasionally there, but we don't talk too often. But obviously, it's lovely to get family, friend of the family and family of the family.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Kirsty, it's always nice. Yeah, Kirsty's question, where we had a competition a while back. She entered, and she won a feature, Kirsty's question.
And it was nothing to do with her being your cousin, was it? It was just by chance that she happened to win.
Got a lot of stick for that, saying it was rigged and all this stuff. But it really wasn't. We liked her. And she came to the court case, didn't she?
Yeah, she was down.
John was on trial. She was down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, luckily, she's actually sent me something, because obviously she does it in advance, because she never knows when Kirsty's question is going to pop up, because the wheel's completely random.
Yeah, of course.
But there is something in the bank, I think. Ryan, have I sent it you?
Yeah, I think it's here. I can play her question now.
Hiya lads, it's me, Kirsty from Answorth in Sheffield, and thanks for having me back on for Kirsty's question. And my question to you boys is, how do you deal with negative people? Someone said to me, there's 7 billion people in this world, don't let one person drain your energy. So I realised that how I deal with negative people is, what I've done is, I like singing. And I thought, why not deal with negative people by putting together a little song? So I'm going to sing you my song. And afterwards, how do you deal with negative people? See you later, lads. Enjoy.
I always see Sharon at the big Astor in Answorth. No control over her kids, usually at the counter, trying to cash in a kid's school dinner vouchers for 6. 'Cause Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she keeps me awake, shouting at the kids. Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she's got 2 faces, just ask my best friend Faye. My life's all about love, live, laugh. She can barely get to 7 kids in the bath. She's always getting pissed in Rotherham, while she leaves her kids with their poor old nan. 'Cause Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she keeps me awake, shouting at the kids. Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she's got 2 faces, just ask my best friend Faye.
Like, I wouldn't really mind, because we used to be mates and that. But let me just say this, yeah. Money doesn't change people, it unmasks them. But that's the thing. She had 1 win on Irish lottery, and she's walking around the place like she's won national. Do you know what I mean? Buying new cars and all that. She can't afford it. She doesn't even work. Anyway, I'm sick of just negative people in my life, so don't bother me. Live, laugh, love. You know me, lads. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely show, and thanks for having me on. Kirsty's question.
Sharon's a snake,
See you later, lads.
Sharon's a snake, and she keeps me awake, screaming at the kids. Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake and she's got 2 faces. Just ask my best friend Faye. I've literally seen her use a pram as an ashtray.
Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Wow,
Sharon's a snake. I assume that's called, that song.
Yes. I think I've seen her talk about Sharon before on Facebook as it happens.
Yeah.
I don't think she's her biggest fan.
Doesn't sound like it, does it? That song is going to be in my head all day long, I think, now.
Yes. That was quite catchy, actually.
Yeah.
I suppose she's saying that's how she deals with negative people,
Right.
is she makes songs about them because she loves...
Yeah.
As far as I remember, she's well into her karaoke.
It's a lot of effort to go to, isn't it? To write a whole song about someone that she doesn't like. I mean...
Yeah.
It's weird, strange behaviour. I don't know if you class that as healthy behaviour. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, I suppose, people have different ways of dealing with stuff, don't they? I mean, Ryan, how would you deal with negative people?
Oh, I don't know. How do I deal with negative people? I think, let me think about this. I think I try and just almost kill them with kindness, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Or just, if someone's being in some way negative towards me, I almost don't allow them to do it. And I try not to be negative back. And I almost revel in being nice to them back. Like I'm going, you're trying to be negative to me.
Yeah.
You have this, you take this joy from me. See how you deal with this. See if you can be negative in the face of this pure positivity I'm going to give back at you, you fucking dick.
Yeah. Now, come on, Ryan. It's a family show.
No, pardon me. I didn't mean to swear.
But no, I understand what you're
it's
saying.
Negative people that get to me.
Yeah, kill them with kindness. That's quite a good idea, actually, because then it highlights them being negative. And they might think to themselves, well, how can I be negative to this guy? He's just being lovely.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm not too sure how John deals with negative people, though.
Well, similar to Ryan, kill them with kindness. Just kill them. No, I'm joking. Sometimes I go the other way. If I'm working with someone and they're like complaining, going, oh, I can't believe this. It's ridiculous. I go, yeah, we should just quit, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, like go along with what they're saying.
Yeah, but go further,
just
push it to
just
the extreme.
Take them too seriously, almost to the point where they're going, well,
No, I don't mean.
I don't mean that.
I think we should.
Yes.
I think we should wait for our manager when she gets into a car, and then maybe just slash your tires. I reckon.
Yeah.
And they're like,
You slash
"Whoa."
your tires, I'll key a car.
Problem is, you got the worry is that they might be willing to go this far.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're in court again, John, and maybe not getting away with it this time.
Don't say getting away with it.
That is in the past. Yeah, well, I mean, I'd probably do the same. Or just
I have
ignore
a big
them.
problem with saying getting away with it because it implies that I actually did something wrong. See what I'm saying?
No, I know what you mean, and
Yeah. You just got off scot-free, I suppose is the phrase.
you are.
Proven innocent.
John, where's that phrase originate from? Getting off scot-free.
Do you think I'm saying it right? Scot-free.
That's what I
Yeah.
assume it is.
Must have been from a time when Scottish people were allowed concessions
Right.
to certain
Interesting.
attractions, theme parks.
That makes sense.
Yes, Scottish people go free. Scots go free.
That sounds like genuinely the truth.
It's got to be a wind up.
Yes.
But Matt,
Yes,
you didn't
yes.
really give a solid answer then to Kirsty. You just said, I think
Well-
you think it, you just do the same as us, but we said two different things.
No, negative people. I suppose it depends what they're being negative about. I mean, if it's things that I feel like I can help them and say, well, actually, if you look at it like this, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But if it's just people being horrible, then probably just, I mean, like Kirsty says, there's 7 billion people in the world. Why let one person drain you?
Yeah.
So
She's actually a very wise woman,
just
Kirsty.
ignore them. Very wise woman. Yeah. I remember going around to her house not so long back, and the amount of wise sayings she has all around her house.
Dotted around the walls. Yeah.
Yeah. In Shocking Pink is, everywhere you go, I'm inspired.
Sure.
Let me ask
by
you,
something.
can I ask you a question, Matt? Has she got a picture of Audrey Hepburn on the wall?
Yes.
And obviously, Live, Laugh, Love is on her.
Well, it says that below in quotation marks. Not sure if Audrey Hepburn ever said that, but I don't know. Yeah. But thank you, Kirsty. Maybe I'll see you at Christmas Christmas Eve when we go to the pub and we all see the family. But no, lovely to have you on the show. And I hope you sort out your differences with your old friend Sharon.
Sharon's a snake. Sharon's a snake. And she's got
imagine
two
chanting that at a football match.
Ask my best friend Faye. I love it. It's going to be in my head
What
all day.
I want to know is what's happened between Faye and Sharon.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
She's, she obviously has experienced something. So, anyway, we must move on. It's despite the sheer heat, I can still see the moon creeping in.
Yeah, rearing its ugly head.
Despite the heat, I can still see the moon. It hasn't blinded you yet completely.
Despite the blazing sunshine that I can see.
Oh yeah,
I can see the moon just sneaking up behind him. Shall we spin the wheel, Ryan?
Yeah, I might just count to un, deux, trois in English first.
Actually, do you know what, Ryan? I literally was just about to say, Ryan, can you count us in with a spin? Which is a catchphrase I'm trying to get off the ground.
Oh, count us in with a spin. I like it.
1, 2, 3.
No time to why.
Oh, back-to-back features today.
No time to why.
Yes.
Well, like you say, back-to-back features, John. Back-to-back.
Yeah. And these...
Also, I find another stressful one this for me.
It is. It's a lot of thinking on your feet this week, isn't it? And last week, or not last week, but last time this feature came up, I feel like I almost failed. Like I did deliver something in the end, but I feel like I didn't blank my mind out enough. Obviously, this is the feature where John asks us a question and we have no time to think about it. We have up to a maximum of 2 seconds to deliver an answer. So no time at all. And I feel
you sometimes have trouble clearing your mind palace, don't you?
Exactly, yeah. Well, my mind palace is full of, because of Pints Win Prizes, my mind palace is jam-packed full of vessels filled with lager. And I need to just clear that out, have a bit of a clear out in preparation for this feature. But maybe I can do that because maybe last time I went first and I still had the jingle in my head, which I guess we'll have to hear now.
Yep.
That's...
Of course.
Please.
Ask you once, ask you twice, but there's no time to decide, and I'm gonna make you cry. There's just no time to I.
Some beautiful singing voices on display this week, I must say.
Gorgeous. You actually got her in to do it, didn't you?
I
as well?
did, yeah.
And,
Shirley.
Shirley, yeah.
It's nice to have some women on the show, isn't it? Shirley there and obviously Kirsty earlier.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's 2020, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
about time.
Yeah.
2020.
John, take it away, mate.
Yeah, so we know why we're here. I'm going to be asking you questions, and I hope you're preparing yourself by just clearing your minds, guys. Just clearing your minds. And I'm
Who's
gonna
going
give you...
first? Because I need to really prep for this.
Okay, Matt, you're going to go first.
Right.
All right, you ready? Clearing your mind.
Well done.
I've actually got a little bit of preparation for this for you.
Do you remember what I said, Ryan? Infinity board.
The thing is, I'm picturing like a white studio, like a
Yeah.
pure white studio. But then I'm annoyingly, in my peripheral vision, I've got cameras, I've got lights, I've got things like that in the studio that I need to get rid of.
Just zoom in into the middle.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay, John.
Matt, I'm setting the scene for you here. Matt, congratulations. You've been made the Admiral of the Navy. And there's a big brand new ship about to go out to sea. Give it a name, please. Go.
Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
Crinkly Winkly Bottom. Crinkly Winkly Bottom. Matt, what happened?
HMS Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
Oh, dear.
It's got a kind of a nod to Noel's house party, hasn't it, I suppose?
Yes, I suppose.
I mean, the
maybe
Winkly's
the Blobby
new,
thing
but
still-
maybe Crinkly Bottom was always a shortening of Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
Good point. On the original pictures.
Yeah.
And what happened in your mind palace there, Matt? What, did it just...
I was setting the scene. I saw this big boat, and then I thought Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
Right,
Yeah. Do you know what's interesting is, although that obviously wasn't my no time to why, so I didn't need to think of an answer.
Yeah.
You can't help but see what comes into your head, can you?
Of course, yeah.
And I didn't finish my thought, but the first sound that came into my mind was cri.
Interesting.
Before you said Crinkly Winkly Bottom, I thought,
really?
And I think if I'd have got it, I'd have called it Chris Kamara or something like that. But it was. But for some reason, I got this.
Good one.
But for some reason, I mean, I've had time to think about that, so maybe not. But it definitely would have started Cray, and I don't know why. Ain't that weird?
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Maybe it's something like, you know that thing where if you count back from 100, do you know that thing?
Not sure.
Finish your sentence.
I'm going to write a word down.
Right.
This isn't going to work. I can't be bothered to do it, really. Basically, if you...
Does sound good.
Hold on 1 second.
Sounds wicked.
All right. Wait a second. I'm writing a word down, okay? Now,
Darren Brown's sort of thing, this, is it?
It's written cat.
As you can see, pen's here, not touching it.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Yeah.
out loud, I want you to start counting back from 100 until I say stop.
Okay. 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95.
Stop.
94.
Name a vegetable.
Carrot, I guess.
And on a piece of paper, I've written carrot there. And that's just basically everybody says carrot.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Try it on your friends, that one. It's pretty interesting. It really works. But obviously, you can't try it twice.
I wonder why it is. Maybe it's because carrot's such a bold vegetable. It's so well known in popular culture. Bugs Bunny, etc.
Well, I can't think of another vegetable.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's the only one. It's the only one, John. That's why.
Oh, that's it.
So Ryan's getting no time to wide right now, is he?
Yes.
Okay, let me get my white studio. Okay.
All right, Ryan. Once again, congratulations to you. Your business loan has been approved. I need you to name your new record label. Go, quick.
Flippers Records.
Flippers Records. All right. I mean, there can't be a wrong answer to that one, I realise now, because you could just put a word, can't you? And it's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, there can't really be a wrong answer to name the ship, in a way. You can call out what you want.
They can. You could call it Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
Crinkly Winkly
That's
Records.
nice though, Flippers Records.
Flippers,
it's like
yeah.
Flipping a vinyl.
I feel like that's where maybe it came from. I mean, I was 100% seeing in my mind, for some reason, a sort of dolphin type character. But at the same time, it works perfectly because you can flip a record. Flippers Records. Oh, I like that. And then the logo could be like a dolphin with headphones on, maybe shades, around
high-fiving
with some
something.
with like around decks. I was thinking like as a DJ Dolphin.
Yeah. DJ Dolphin.
And he would be the first person you'd sign.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just awful, like in a tank that he has to be in, and they've somehow attached these sunglasses.
Yeah, they've like sellotaped some records to his flippers.
He's trapped.
No one's cleaning the tank properly. It's getting green.
Flippers record has gone bust, and it's first signing.
Do you know
after the RSPCA?
Do you know that there used to be in Soho on I think it was what's it called? What's that square called? Soho Square. There was an underground dolphinarium.
No way.
Yeah.
You could go and
used to be
see some dolphins. Yeah. In the basement or basements of some of the buildings, there was dolphinarium.
What year are we talking here?
Like back in the day, way back.
We're talking
90s,
80s,
Dorian
like Gray.
No,
1960s.
Yeah.
And they used to have dolphins in Soho. I wonder what's there now. Probably just like a Edit Suites or something.
Yeah, probably some little coffee joint.
Or Subway sandwich or something.
Not in Soho Square, right?
I heard this the other day on a TV show I've been watching called Dave, which I think I'd recommend. It's a good show. About with this rapper called Little Dicky, who I'd never heard of before, but you've heard of him. I mean, you said he's good. But
yeah.
It's an American sitcom. Anyway, it's by the by. But in one of the episodes, he mentions that Subway is actually a larger chain. There's more outlets of Subway sandwich than there is of McDonald's. Now, I don't know if that's true, but he said it in the show as if it's like, it wasn't like, there was no reason why he'd put that lie in the show, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. So then you looked it up.
Oh, no, I just believed it for the rest of my life until this point now.
Who knows?
Let me see.
Maybe.
Let's give it a look up.
Look it up.
So I've looked it up, and apparently, according to our website, don't know if it's reliable, and it says with 44,805 locations worldwide, Subway beats McDonald's, which currently has 36,525. That's interesting. Well, it's not that interesting, but it's surprising, isn't it?
I suppose you can have them in tiny little spaces, can't you?
And it's got to be a wind-up.
It's not a wind-up, apparently. Apparently it's true.
I thought they'd have more, to be honest. I thought that seems like quite a lot. Was that worldwide or in the United Kingdom?
I've closed the website down, but I think it was worldwide.
No. Don't worry about it.
So there we go. Flippers Records and Crinkly Winkly. What was it? Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
Crinkly Winkly Bottom.
So there we go. Matt's going to launch a ship called Crinkly Winkly Bottom. I'm going to launch a record label called Flippers Records with a real live dolphin who I'm going to force to DJ for me as my first and probably last signing.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's not going to go down well.
Animals were harmed in the making of this music video, you'd have to say.
Yeah, it'd be awful, wouldn't it? Especially nowadays, being 2020 and everything.
Yep.
Have we got time for any more spins of the wheels, Ryan?
I think, no.
Because I see John's getting his leggings on, his nice woolen leggings, bed leggings.
I just call them long me's. Very funny.
Oh, very nice because of Long Johns.
Yeah. Oh, long knees. Nice, nice. I thought you said long knees, but that's even better what you just said there. That makes more sense.
I'm putting my long U's on, John, I suppose.
Oh, brilliant.
And I suppose you're putting your long hymns on, Matt.
Yes.
Because it's getting dark and it's bedtime is the point we're making.
Oh, that's what the point we're making. So we don't have a spin of the wheel, but maybe we've got time to do some admin.
Yeah, we could always sing our Patreon song as we sing it live every week. You guys,
yes.
You guys ready to sing the Patreon song?
Yeah. Yes.
Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do.
On the website Patreon,
Followed by a .com.
/ is the next bit.
they seldom differ,
And that's it.
Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do.
sign up to us, and then
Pay us £1, £3, £5 or $10.
Bonus podcast worth the fuss.
Appreciated by us.
I was worried I weren't going to reach the notes there.
Always nice to have a little sing song, isn't it? Of a day.
I think your voice is getting better, actually, Ryan.
I
on
think
each
so too.
episode.
I almost hit the notes then, didn't I?
Yeah.
Every week I think it gets a little bit better. My
Well, we'll
singing.
see next week.
We'll see,
Maybe
won't we?
you'll hit it completely next week.
I think I might. Now, before we move on, Patreon, I need to thank our latest Patreons, our latest terrible fans, and our latest friends of the family, friends of the show. So, we have friend of the family, friend of the show, Graham Glenn. Thank you very much. Friend of
Thank
the family,
you.
friend of the show, Lataz. Unusual name.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Friend of the family,
Thank you.
friend of the show, Saul Midgar.
Oh, thank you
Thank you very
Saul.
much. And friend of the family, friend of the show, Henry Hitchcocks. So thank you to all of you terrible, terrible fans.
And just as we finish that, a baby has appeared
A
on screen
baby's
who is
appeared.
also topless.
Yes. 4 topless, but no, it's a girl, isn't it?
It is. She
4
is.
topless characters.
It's 2020. They can get topless now.
It's absolutely right.
2020.
Do you think maybe little baby wants to play a game of Who's at the Door, John?
Would she like to play? Yes.
I can't wait to help shift some of this Christmas crap with
Oh, yeah.
using the baby.
Oh, yeah, we can
We'll
dress the
make
baby in all
onesies
the
and stuff
T-shirts
like
and
that.
stuff,
Yeah,
can't we?
yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be brilliant.
Just like all the merch and then having the baby in there and then, wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
You've got to exploit them at that age, mate. You really have.
100%.
Because
100%.
they can't say no, that's the beauty.
You know, getting them on adverts and stuff like that. But apparently there's like laws in place to set up so that the kids actually get the money. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely stuff. Thank you to all the new Patreon subscribers there. We are not forgetting about your badges. We just went an extra mile and we had them mounted. So my next free day, I'm going to go through all your addresses, and if I don't have them, I'll try and get in touch with you and send them your way. And I'll also put it up on Instagram to see what you will be receiving if you do sign up to our Patreon. And it's the first 50 get the limited edition mounted Terrible Fan badges.
And I would say that the mounting of them really has made them collector's items, even more so than they already were.
100%.
Yeah.
One honey. So let's have a quick game before we go of Who's at the Door?
Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? Who's that? Who's that? Who's at the door? It's a mystery.
Who's at the door this week? Ryan House.
Is it Chris Akabusi?
Oh, that's a stunning guess, that. That is stunning. John Patrick.
It's Inspector Frost.
Ah.
A wonderful attempt. A wonderful attempt. And Neve?
Does Neve have an answer?
Really... All she thinks about is boobs.
So she's maybe the boobs are at the door, she's thinking.
Okay, boobs, another good guess. I think Neve's actually got closer than the both of you, as it is a female. It was actually Michaela Strachan.
Oh. Although I say Akabusi's of the same ilk, the CBBC
Yeah, that's what
ilk.
I'm saying. Great guess, but I think Neve I'll give Neve half a point for that. I can't give her the full point because, she can't get...
My wife is going to be furious.
ahead of the game because she looks that cute. You can't have that as an advantage. Although Ryan does have it, so... Well, what a wonderful show. Thank you once again for downloading. You have been listening to Sir John Patrick.
Hello, goodbye.
And, of course, the cherub-like creature, good old-fashioned Ryan House.
Hello, goodbye.
And I've been Matt Skillington. And before I go, I'll leave you with this. There's nothing quite like a new pair of sneakers. Oh, wait, there is. Seldom Differ's Terrible Features. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I mean, he's getting slim pickings with the words that Ryan went through.
You have been listening to Seldom Differ's Terrible Features with Matt Skillington, John Patrick and Ryan Howes. Intro and outro theme by Old. You can follow them at Old Music on Instagram. If you want to follow the boys at Seldom Differ, you can get them at Twitter at Seldom Differ, Instagram Seldom_Differ, and Facebook at Seldom Differ Comedy. You should also subscribe at Seldom Differ on YouTube. Thank you to Luke Collins at Appley Bridge Studio for his additional audio work. And thank you to all you Patreon subscribers. If you're interested in supporting us, then go to patreon.com/Seldom Differ. And there you can donate as little as £1 a month, that's 25p an episode, that's not too bad, to £3 plus a month, which will allow you access to all of our bonus material. Please do give us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd be unbelievably grateful. Thanks for listening.